What's up, nerds? This is Lance.
And this is Antoine.
And you are listening to the Emo Otaku podcast, the show where we talk about everything anime and music. And welcome to episode 105. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
that is. The only reason I'm thrown off is because I just uploaded 103 to YouTube.
Which is a week behind the
Yeah,
recordings.
I got to get 104 up hopefully today, or probably not today, but
You're not simulcasting them?
it's not up. It's like she edits the stuff, so sometimes I can't send it to her right away, or we forget, or we're busy. I've had a shitty week at work too, so
Sorry. Welcome back.
yeah, no shit. Welcome back to the suck.
Yeah.
And then a couple weeks I have TAPS class, which is cool.
And then you're one step closer to freedom.
One step closer.
In like a year when you're actually getting out, but whatever.
No,
You have like a year.
no, I don't.
You have like 9 months.
Yeah,
Which is more than half of a
But
year.
I have
so a year.
Skill Bridge starting in February, so
Yeah, but
I'm
you're still not
essentially out.
free.
I'm basically free in February.
Okay, whatever. You'll be free when you're free.
Yeah.
No paperwork, no
February.
freedom.
At the end, I get my DD214.
Just because they let you roam further in the yard doesn't mean the chains are off.
They give me my DD214 before I go to Skill Bridge.
Okay.
So,
Okay. You're free.
I'm free.
You're free. Whatever. Lie to yourself. Never get
Be
to
free. I'll be working at a better job with better hours, with free boots. I found out I get a coupon for free boots.
I get free boots.
Yeah, well, I don't.
Oh, well, I get free boots
Well,
every 3 months.
I'm going to get some sick-ass Red Wings.
Can you wear 12s?
Can I wear what?
Size 12s?
No.
Oh, then I can't get you free boots.
Yeah. Oh, well. That's all right. I don't need Navy boots anymore because
I don't need them. I kind of like them.
that's fine.
I feel like I'm going to war every day.
Yeah.
Driving down 183 like I'm fucking hardcore. Like
I'm so cool.
traffic.
I can't wait.
Yeah, and someone like looks over and waves at me and I'm like, yeah, I fucking know.
Yeah. I'm going to fight ISIS today
Just lift my foot up and show them my boot.
because they can't see your camis.
But the boots are the important part. The boots do the stomping.
Right.
You don't stomp with your camis. You stomp with your boots.
That's true.
The camis just hide me so they don't see the stomping coming.
You're fucking.
That's how they designed them. It's for a
I
reason.
know.
That's why the boots aren't camouflage. You see the stomp, but you don't see the creator of said stomp.
Oh, I thought it was so that like conservatives could lick your boot.
Ugh, I don't want them near me. They're too busy licking something else.
Yeah. No shit.
What are you drinking?
Tequila and Sprite.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna stick to my caffeine water.
Congrats.
Hey, it's got 0 sugar with vitamins and antioxidants.
Oh, delicious.
It's got a nice citrus twist to it.
Does it say that on the can?
Yeah, I had to read it. I had to pause to
Nice.
read it.
Nice.
So, Lancifer.
Yo.
Lancelot.
Yeah.
Lancel. That's all I had.
What do you about to say Lance a little? And I was going to be like, you
I
fuck.
should have. I didn't think of that. What have you been watching?
I've been watching a good amount of stuff, man.
Oh,
So let's get into it.
okay.
All right. Well, starting off, I watched the new Gundam Requiem for Vengeance, the new CGI one on Netflix.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
I watched it. I liked it. The only thing that threw me off the entire time was the like facial expressions and talking with the CGI. It was really bad. It was like very bad. Like, like in video games, like sometimes like the mouths don't even close all the way, or they don't really open and move.
Like they just have like a preset emote regardless.
Yeah, it's not great, but
It's
it's based during the 1 Year War. So, like OG Gundam.
yeah.
A lot of people are shitting on it, and I don't really know why.
Yeah, I haven't really heard anything good about it.
Yeah, maybe I just love Gundam so much, but I think visually it was sick. The story we've heard before, so like there's not
Nothing
really
new.
anything they can do new.
I kind of figured it was going to be in a preset time period of world, so like in that aspect, I didn't think it was expecting any expansion on lore, but I didn't really care about that. Did they make a cool Gundam movie?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we have terrible taste, so it's not really like a...
It's like 6 episodes, I think.
Oh, that's short. I'll probably burn over that this weekend.
Yeah, it's really quick, and it was very enjoyable.
No, probably not this weekend, but definitely before next recording.
Okay.
I'll burn through it.
All right. That works.
Okay.
And then I finished Dragon Ball.
Ooh. So
yeah.
I want the full rundown.
The full rundown of the entire show?
Yeah, just like what are your overall not like don't give me like an episode by episode, but like your overall thoughts now that you're done with it.
Overall, I think, and this is gonna piss some people off, but I think that people saying it's like the GOAT or people saying that it's their favorite, I get it, but it's purely nostalgia based.
I've never heard anyone call OG Dragon Ball the GOAT.
I've heard a lot of people say it's like the shit because I mean, like I get it. Most, if not most fucking shonen based off that. If we didn't have Dragon Ball, we would not have most of the shit that we love today. I get that. We wouldn't have the big three without Dragon Ball. It was the probably the first half, at least the first third of it was just comedy.
Yeah, it was an adventure story.
Yeah, and it was cool. I didn't mind it. They were just like going to find these Dragon Balls. That's the whole point of the fucking story. Find these fucking Dragon Balls. And then it became like, all right, we're seeing where Dragon Ball Z came from. We're starting to see power levels and everybody can do a Kamehameha wave and Tien is kind of OP and probably should be like the main character because he's a dog. And then Tien's a dog, dude.
I mean,
Tien is my favorite character from Dragon Ball. From Dragon Ball.
He's introduced. He's a good villain in his arc, but like once they finish the arc, he kind of just doesn't really do anything.
In the second tournament or third tournament when he fights fucking Goku, I thought that was a great fight.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good fight, but I mean, it's very clear that Goku is like stronger than him at that point.
Oh, you mean the main character was going to fucking win?
Yeah, but you're over here talking. You're over here like, well, I mean, he didn't win the first two tournaments.
He won the second one.
No, he didn't. Goku lost. Tien won the second one.
I'm saying Tien won the second one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't like set in stone because Goku hadn't won a tournament up to that point.
Oh, you knew he was going to win that one, though.
Not necessarily.
He knew it. It had to. It's like every shonen. The main character gets their ass kicked. I mean, Goku didn't get his ass kicked, but it's going to lose and then lose again. And then eventually he's going to come out on top. And that is exactly what fucking happens.
That's not what happens with Yu Yu.
Yeah, you're right. That's because Yu Yu is the fucking GOAT, baby.
Yeah. I just wanted to give it to you. No, usually you lose the first one and then you come back and win.
I mean, Luffy tends to lose 2 times in a row and then beat the shit out of people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Luffy is literally
Ichigo gets beat twice and then wins.
Luffy is just Goku. No, Ichigo gets beat once, comes back and is like on par, and then comes back
loses.
He doesn't usually lose. Usually there's like a third element that interrupts it.
I don't know. I feel like Aizen probably beat his ass multiple times, but didn't.
He only really fought Aizen when he did the finger thing and then the final fight. They're kind of like when he catches it with the sword.
He just catches it with his hand. He catches it with his hand.
No, Aizen catches it with one single finger.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. When Ichigo catches it with his hand.
Yeah, I thought he did the exact same thing.
No, Aizen, that's what I was saying. It's not like it was cool, but Aizen literally used a single finger to catch it.
I might have to rewatch that fight.
Yeah, you were like telling me I was wrong when I was saying.
I don't think you're right. I still stand by what I said.
When we get done recording, we'll look up that specific scene. But Aizen literally, like, he catches it right on the first knuckle and just like, whatever, dude. And then he does the hair slick back.
Yeah.
Then I'm saying when Ichigo catches it, he uses his whole hand.
Yeah.
So I was saying it's not. It was a good parallel, but it wasn't like an equal scale.
I remember Aizen catching it with his hand, but I could very easily be wrong because Ichigo wasn't that strong at that point.
I'm going to look up the picture while we're recording.
That's fine. The final fight was everything you wanted it to be and more. The final fight between Goku, grown-up Goku, and Piccolo. I'm interested to see because I don't remember shit from Dragon Ball Z. I remember watching it. I remember my favorite character was Trunks, especially Super Saiyan Trunks. But I'm interested to see.
Single finger. It's got both of them.
I don't know, man. It looks like he kind of caught it.
He caught it on his finger. He's literally got one finger up, and then it shows Ichigo.
Oh, he's catching it like coming. Okay, yeah, he does. Yeah, he did. You're right. I'll take that.
Yeah, because he catches it like this and then wraps
his finger around. Maybe that's why I thought he caught it with his hand.
And that's when he breaks it.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how I gave you the win.
Oh no, I'm just having my moment, having my glow up.
What the fuck was I saying? Oh, how does Piccolo become Piccolo. You don't have to tell me. I'm just interested to see how Piccolo becomes,
you mean like not the main villain Piccolo?
Yeah, like he becomes the homie almost. Is it because like when Vegeta shows up or Frieza shows up?
I mean, pretty much all the villains that become good guys, because there's 3 of them altogether.
Vegeta ends up being basically a good guy.
Yeah, because it's Tien is a villain, ends up becoming a good guy, then Piccolo, and then Vegeta. And all 3 of them basically do it for a very similar reason, I'd say. Well, Tien's a little different. Tien's more of a...
Tien wants to avenge his master.
Yeah, and then he realizes I was on... But the other 2, it's more of a, like, a greater threat arises. So it's, like, not so much like I want to be Goku's friend or a good guy. It's
so
just
I'm
that,
right.
like,
Piccolo changed because Vegeta showed up, and then Vegeta changes because, what, like, Boo shows up or something?
Frieza. Well, Vegeta slowly becomes, like, on the right side, but he never really becomes, like, a good guy.
He's like an anti-hero.
Kind of, yeah. He's like, I'm only
like
on your side because like Vegeta still wants to kill Goku or become stronger, but there are other threats, so Vegeta sides with them.
I'm your fucking like how most shonen, like they have their what is it called?
Deuteragonist.
Oh, that works. That's not the word I was looking for.
You mean antagonist?
Rival.
Oh, okay, rival, yeah.
Like they're on level terms, but like if they go to throw hands, they're gonna throw hands.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because like that trope definitely I would say comes from Dragon Ball 2 with like between Goku and Vegeta, but like after their first meeting, Goku was so significantly stronger than Vegeta the entire rest of the series.
Yeah.
And Vegeta's whole character arc is having a chip on his fucking shoulder because after their initial meeting, he's never as strong as Goku again.
Which is crazy because isn't he like the Majin Prince or some shit like that?
Prince of Saiyans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
I mean, but he's not the main character, so.
I mean, yeah, obviously he's not the main character, but you would think like the Prince of Saiyans would just be
he's never
dog walking people.
I mean, he's usually the second strong. Well, no, because of Gohan, so not even second.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then Piccolo's stronger than all of them for a while.
Exactly. And then what? Broly shows up and is just like God.
Broly's not canon.
Oh, he's not?
Broly's from a movie. He's not technically canon.
Oh, so he's just in that Dragon Ball.
Yeah, they did like 2 superhero OG movies and then the Dragon Ball Super movie. I don't know. I don't think that one's canon either, technically.
Oh, I thought Broly was canon.
No, I don't think he's ever officially been canon in anything.
Interesting.
I mean, he's super popular, but yeah, his original movie was.
So then it's like Boo is fucking powerful, and then like Zeno and Wiz and all that shit.
Oh, all the guys from Super?
Yeah, those all from Super. I know
Boo's
these
in
people.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
all the other ones you said are from Super.
Wiz and Zeno.
Yeah, they're all from Super, the newer show.
I'm gonna get there eventually. I know these characters' names, and like I remember.
Yeah, I was actually kind of impressed you said names from Super because I didn't think you'd.
Well, I know Zeno is like basically God.
Yeah,
he's like the most powerful.
Yeah, I will say too because like you meet Kami, in OG, and it's like okay, this is God.
Actually God.
And then Dragon Ball Z, it's like no, this is God. And then you meet the Supreme Kai, like no, this is the God of the gods, and you're like. And then
who's God?
And then Super is like Zeno, and it's like, all right, so these are the gods of these dimensions, and then Zeno's the god of all dimensions.
So it just
turns universes.
Just turns into like fucking mythology. Gods of gods.
Yeah, they don't really like cover it much. It's just like, oh, every time a new threat comes out, then a new god that's stronger.
They got a power fucking.
Yeah, but like the new gods are never strong enough to be relevant. Like Whis and Beerus are, because he's a god of destruction. Yeah, and then his angel.
Oh, Beerus, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but like Zeno is like the god of. So like there's universes, and then he's the god of all the universes.
Which is hilarious because the way he looks, you just like.
Yeah, but
what the fuck are you gonna do?
He definitely has a very OG Dragon Ball look to him, like in his design. And Super, you could tell Super was kind of trying to touch into that a little bit with some of the, but still keep it Dragon Ball Z with the fighting.
Well, overall, I give it about a 6.5. I put it on par with 2011 Hunter x Hunter.
I actually didn't think you like it that much from the way you talked about it in the beginning.
I appreciate it. It's the same way as Hunter x Hunter 2011. Like I appreciate the newer version of Hunter x Hunter, but I way prefer the 90s version. With Dragon Ball, it's like I would rather watch most things, but it was a fun adventure. 150 episodes, some like not a whole lot of filler. It's probably like 30 episodes of filler. And I watched most, if not all of the filler.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z filler gets kind of
Oh, I plan to skip it because there's not very much.
Yeah.
There is like 30 episodes of filler.
Yeah, it's less filler. It's more like One Piece drag out fights and all that stuff. I figured.
Yeah, no, I remember. And next week on Dragon Ball Z,
the drivers, when they're doing the driving, that's like the only good filler you have to watch because it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just dumb. But, I'll get there eventually. There's other stuff I want to watch. I want to get off my watch list is more. That's the priority right now. Clean up my watch list, and then I'll jump into Dragon Ball Z probably. Woo. And that'll take me months because there's 250 episodes of that shit. Woo. Yeah. All right. Next, I watched like 2 episodes of Monster. I'm to the point where Grimmer showed up. Grimer. I don't know. He's like a blonde dude who's also like a
blonde dude. Okay, cool.
Like I'm getting there. He's also like a doctor. It's after the library assassination shit. So it literally is right after that. There's a dude. They meet on a train. Dr. Tenma has a fake passport, and then he helps him escape from the train.
Okay.
Now you know where he's going into the Czech Republic now.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where I am. I just watched like one or 2 episodes just to.
Yeah. I know of who you're talking about. I can't put a face to.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
I know where you are.
He's dope. Like the 1-2 episodes that I saw, he was cool. I like saw him and I was like, oh, he's gonna be cool. Even if he's a bad guy, he's gonna be cool. He's probably a bad guy because he's German, and that's what I've learned from this show. I watched
Germans are bad. That's all the show's taught you. Germans are bad. I mean, that's kind of the moral of the whole show.
History has taught me that Germans, for the most part, especially during that time, real bad people.
Yeah. It's like the weirdest version of the trolley problem ever. It's like, let's mix post-genocide with the trolley problem and just say an entire country is just made of psychopaths and just turn it into an anime.
To be fair, they say specifically East Germany.
Oh, yeah.
And we obviously know that East Germany was definitely the bad part. Well, this is isn't this post the Berlin Wall coming down? Or are they still East and West Germany?
I don't remember.
I think this is post the wall coming down, so this would have been like the 90s.
Yeah, I want to say it is.
Because the wall came down in 89.
Like this is like right. I want to say it's right after
the wall.
Like during like the reintegration. I don't really know if there's a term
it's before
for it.
When Germany became a country again.
Yeah.
So it would have been like early 90s.
Okay. Yeah, because it would have to be because Germany is a country in this, and it doesn't really never references it.
It talks about because it talks about East and West Germany being separate, and then it's definitely so it'd be like early 90s.
Yeah, so like right afterwards, basically.
Them still having Nazis chilling around, Nazis, but like not talking about it. Kind of, they just didn't escape to Argentina.
The ones that couldn't, they're like, we were stuck in East Germany and like,
couldn't get to Argentina or fucking Brazil or something like that.
I can't tell them because all these Russians are around, so I can't talk about how Nazi-ish I am.
Yeah, exactly. You can just kind of tell how they look. If they look real angry and they're really kept clean all the time, Nazi. I watched an episode of Dawn to Dawn. I watched it today. How are you caught up?
I fell asleep watching the 3rd episode.
Okay, so I watched the 2nd episode.
I've seen the 2nd one
when they fight the alien demon, whatever the
thing.
that
in the temple.
Keep calling. Yeah, that was tight.
Yeah,
his granny mode thing, real fucking dope.
It's so fucking weird looking.
It's so weird, but it's so cool. It's like it reminds me of like it definitely reminds me of like Deku. He's got his like weird form.
Oh, and it's like that dark Deku thing.
Yeah, dark Deku. Like it reminds me of that.
Yeah,
but cooler because the animation. It was like, especially during that fight, it was like black and white with touches of color. I was like, this is.
So I have
making me horny.
I have thoughts on Dawn to Dawn.
Okay.
Not to tell them, it's just in general. So I want to let you finish. But
you're good.
Okay, so obviously we talked about the intro. It's a fucking banger.
It's a banger. Banger. And a half.
We both went and got the whole song. The whole song's a fucking banger.
Such a banger.
Because I had that word where like, man, this is really good. But what if it's one of those songs like this is a really good part and they clipped it and the rest of the song sucks? It does not.
No.
The intro sequence itself is really fucking
Very cool.
Because I listened to it at first before I watched it, but I didn't. There was no audio. I was driving, so I just like put it on YouTube, but I wasn't actually looking at it. Very fucking cool. So the animation style is like, I like it, but I'm not sure if I love it. And it's not like, oh, it's bad animation. They're definitely getting that like IG Fooly Cooly style look to it. And you can definitely see the inspiration from those. Because obviously, because there's comedy in it too. Those like action comedy shows.
It's a very good comparison.
Yeah. And like literally the whole time, I remember stopping like halfway through the first episode to like Google if IG made this, and I don't think they did, but it definitely looks like a production IG show.
Yeah,
and it definitely looks like, I'm like, maybe people, I didn't want to do too much because I wanted to finish it. Was like, maybe the people that made the OG Fooly Cooly did this, because this looks more like Fooly Cooly than season 2 and 3 of Fooly Cooly look like Fooly Cooly.
Facts.
I like that they, especially nowadays, anime is getting away from that homogenous look of just like, regardless of the manga's art style, let's just make shonen anime specifically like we make shonen anime, you know? And then you go look at the manga, you're like, that doesn't look like we talk about with Bleach. Naruto's kind of that way, where like the character designs are like, this is how anime looks, and we just take those designs and translate it. Like, they did a good job of taking the manga characters, even the granny style and all that, and interpreting it.
Yeah.
The animation is very fluid, and that's talking about the Fooly Cooly, like it's got that very almost uncanny, surreal motion to it, and like the cinematography, I'll call it, and like the way they like the depth perception it shows in their motions is really good. Like even when they're just like when they first meet and they're walking past each other, was really good. You can definitely see like the quality go down a little bit, but it's almost done in a way where it's like, hey, we had to save a little money, but like we can kind of make it fit the theme. So it's like they're pinching pennies where they need to, but it doesn't have that. What was not like kaiju where like their eyes are getting wonky or shit like that. They kind of almost like play it as a joke.
Yeah.
And then the fight scenes are awesome. Badass. Yeah. The action is amazing.
My favorite part isn't even the fights, to be honest with you. My favorite part of the 2 episodes I watched was the beginning of episode 2, where they're doing like random frames. They're just walking. And it's just like big frame, random 2 frames. And then it's like frame. I was like, what am I watching? This is an anime? Yeah. This looks so cool.
Yeah, that's literally what I was like, this is definitely just Fooly Cooly with other spirits. Like, because that's exactly what Fooly Cooly did. Yeah. So I was like, I hope they keep that up. It definitely kept all the themes I was worried they would lose from the manga.
Talking about penises and stuff?
No, I just mean like,
give me your banana.
The art style. Yeah, that shit is when the aliens showed up, dude. Yeah, and like ripped their skin off or whatever, dude. I was dying laughing. It is still very pervy, which I kind of thought. I honestly expected them to tune that down a little bit more.
I mean, they did a little bit because, you know, it could be a lot worse with the girl.
Yeah.
But they definitely turned that down a little bit.
Yeah, his side, they did not. No. Like with the ghost chick.
No, not
I was like, oh, we're just, okay. Yeah. I mean, not a fan, but I respect it. The show's good enough and the manga's good enough.
It's at least fun enough to watch that I can put that to the side. Yeah. But it's...
And it's very much played as a joke, so it kind of eases it a little bit.
Yeah, it's, you know how I feel about that shit. It's just like... I wouldn't say it's necessary because you don't need to, but it seems that the "give me your banana" thing is going to be like a running joke.
Yeah, that I don't know.
I'm not caught up. I stopped reading because somebody has my manga.
Well, you said you didn't want to read it, so
I did say eventually I would.
I haven't finished reading it either. What I read when I was reading, that's when the anime got announced. And that's why I was like, well, if I keep reading this, then I'm just going to keep reading and not watch it. And I was like, this definitely seems like a show that I would rather watch than read. And I'm very glad I stopped where I stopped. So
that's fair.
So you can have it back. You can read it, whatever. I'll allow it.
I watched 1 episode of Blue Lock. People are really shitting on this show right now for the animation. That's all I see on like social media is people shitting on it. And I like don't necessarily see why. Like, it's definitely not as good as the first season, but it's to the point where you're like I wouldn't say the animation is bad because the animation's fine. It's just in the first season there's a whole lot of like dribbling and like it's very fluid.
You don't dribble with your hands.
Huh?
It's soccer.
Right. You dribble with your feet.
Well, you did this.
Okay. Dribble with their fucking feet.
Thank you.
Dickhead. Anyway, so they're like dribbling, going through, and like it's very fluid. It feels like you're watching a soccer match. In this, it's a lot of, I don't really want to say stop motion, but kind of. Like a lot of, there's a couple of times where they're dribbling and shit, but most of the time it's like a pass and then zoom. Yeah,
I don't like that.
It's not great, but I think what a lot of people think is they're saving the money for the big match that they're getting ready for. The whole point of this season is for them to go against the under 20s Olympic team. So what a lot of people assume is they're saving the money and then the under 20s match is going to go fucking insane.
Yeah, but that just reeks of Record of Ragnarok, and I'm just like immediately.
It's funny because a lot of people have been talking about Record of Ragnarok.
Like when shows do
you
that?
Think that this fucking show is bad? Let me show you Record of Ragnarok.
Because I was initially, before you started talking, was naturally like inclined to defend the animation because I think of like fucking One Punch Man season 2, like. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It's just the first season was so good.
That's how I feel about Blue Lock. Is like the first season was so much better, and that's why I think it's not as good now because it just took such a dip.
Because you set that standard, though.
Yeah,
I mean, Attack on Titan.
But like to me, I was watching it. I didn't even think about it until I saw people showing clips of season 1, and I was like, "Oh wow, yeah, season 1 was way better."
Oh, when they do those freeze frame, the stop motions, that always catches my attention. It immediately takes me out because it's like, why am I watching this? You're basically just coloring the manga for me at that point with voices.
Yeah,
it's like you turned it into an audiobook, basically.
Yeah, I'm still gonna watch it just because it's a payoff, and I am assuming there's gonna be a payoff, but it's not like I'm definitely not trying to convince you to watch it anymore.
Okay, I mean it's not gonna happen anyways.
I figured
so. I mean, that alone definitely tells me, like, if I was even interested, then I would just read the manga at that point. Because, like I said, why watch an anime if they're not going to animate it? Yeah, it's one of those where,
like, you could just, like, read the manga at this point. And if I tell you that final match is really good, then you could just watch the match and it'd be probably fucking 2 episodes.
Assuming they animate it and it's not stop motion, too.
I don't think it's going to. Based on what they did in the first season, I really don't think it's
going to. Well, that's the issue. The entire first season was animated very well from the jump. Like, even, like, that first elimination room was like super well animated, so you can't set the bar that high. And then
that's what I'm saying. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep watching it because what the fuck else am I gonna do?
Watch Dragon Ball Z.
I'm waiting. There's other things.
I just said it because you left it open.
I just can't do it right now. I need a break.
I think I need understand.
I think I need a break.
It's become your One Piece.
Well, I mean, no. Blue Lock is my one, or not Blue Lock. Black Clover is my One Piece.
No, you don't want to watch. You got way too far, way too fast for that to be your One Piece. You blew through Black Clover when you first started watching.
I did, and then I haven't watched it in like 8 months.
Yeah, I didn't. I at no point that I think the most I ever burned through was one singular arc, and I think that was Alabasta. It was the only arc that I watched all the way through nonstop. Every other arc I've had to stop multiple times. Fair enough. Even Ennie's Lobby and Water 7, which I loved, I still needed breaks.
Yeah, I have 60 episodes left of Black Clover until it eventually comes back.
Is it
maybe it's supposed to come back next year, I think. Yeah, and then there's stuff coming out like next month. I think Sakamoto Days comes out next month. There's something coming out at the end of the month too. It might be Sakamoto Days coming out like the 26th or something. I don't know. There's more shit coming out. Anyway, the last anime thing that I watched, it's going to be super random. Angel Beats.
Okay. Okay. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I know. So I just it's one that's been on my list. It's also on the little scratch off, like bucket list thing that I have.
I mean, it's rated really high.
Right. And that's why I watched it. I was like, people talk about it. It was somebody who did or some website did a list of the best anime of each year, and it popped up. And a couple of people were saying that was one of the best they've ever seen. And I was like, okay. It's also got really high ratings, and it's only 13 episodes. So fuck it. So I watched it. I have notes of the random shit that I wrote. Okay. So they're basically in purgatory, right? Like that's what I get. Have you seen it?
No, I've never watched it.
Oh, okay. So they're basically in purgatory. I was really hoping you'd seen this because they're.
No. That's one of those ones where like I remember it being super big, and it's like I always said I was gonna watch it, and I just never did. And I don't have a reason for why.
It's honestly pretty good.
I've never heard even people like, oh, even if you don't like slice of life, it's good. And I'm like, I don't even know if it is that.
I don't think it's slice of life.
I don't know.
mean,
I've seen pictures of it. The art style looks slice of life, but I don't. I've never.
It looks very slice of life, and I thought it was going to be.
No, but I just never watched it.
I don't know. I don't think I would call it a slice of life. I don't know what I would call it. I mean, I don't know what I would call it. I'm trying to compare, like think about comparing it to something. I mean, Akame, maybe.
Like Akame got killed?
Yeah, like maybe a little bit.
Looking at it, did not expect that. Judging books by covers over here.
Yeah, the picture, you don't expect anything battle
Not
related,
even just
right?
battle. I just mean it looks that like
It's bloody.
cutesy, childy.
Yeah, that's how they get you. And there's also really good music in it. There is one character called TK. He is very clearly supposed to be the American character. And he says the most random shit, like in English. He says, I'm gonna kiss you a bunch of times. It's very weird. I don't know how to explain it.
I have nothing to say.
He just says such random shit in English that it's like they must have the studio must have thought that these were common phrases said in America, and none of them are. And the end is fucking gets you. Hit me pretty hard. I was watching. I was like, oh fuck.
So worth the watch?
Definitely worth the watch. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it was only 13 episodes.
I've never heard anyone say anything bad about it before.
Neither have I. I was looking. I enjoyed it. I give it a 8.5.
Damn.
Yeah. It was genuinely good. It was nice and short, and I was always engaged. I wasn't bored at all.
Yeah. It kind of fell in that like same loop like when Madoka Magica came out, where it was so big and popular. And I just remember looking at the art style, like, I just can't get into it. And then it wasn't until I saw one of the witches in Madoka Magica that I was like, oh, I might actually like this. So maybe I need to look up a clip. I've only seen still frames and like the cover photo and a couple pictures. But
bro, you could literally just watch the opening 5 minutes, and I think you'd be hooked.
Just everything I've seen of it makes it like, everyone's like, it's really good. And I look at pictures and I'm like, I don't know if this is for me though.
No, I could see why, because it's also in a high school. And I mean, like I told you what it was.
Yeah.
But you figured that out within the first episode. It's good, man. It's worth a watch. Again, it's fucking 4 hours of your time, 4.5 hours of your time. It's not that much. And then for live action, I watched Urban Legend.
Oh, hey. I forgot we talked about the what you did last summer.
Yep. Okay, though I was like, what the fuck is this note that I because I watched it like a while ago.
Okay.
I watched it like probably Friday or Saturday. The bitch.
Yeah, remember, I haven't seen this thing since like.
Oh, you'll remember this.
Okay.
It's the very end when you find out who the bad guy is, who the killer is the whole time, and they shoot her and she falls out 3 stories and then is fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 And you're just like
completely fine. Magically, she's in the back of their fucking car.
Sure.
I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. And then like, it doesn't even make sense who the killer is.
Not at all.
You're just like, but no.
What does this have to do with anything?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think I always remember the car scene with the headlights, about not flashing your lights on the road.
That was,
yeah.
That was one of the last kills.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
that's funny because I remember the urban legend like that, but that was actually happening in my town. Yeah. My dad was like, don't flash your lights if you see people. To this day, I will not flash my lights at anybody.
It's funny because people do it to me all the time, and I'm like, I have to murder you now.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules, but that's the rule.
Fuck, man.
And like some of the urban legends, like I remember because I didn't know a lot about urban legends back then when it came out, and I just remember being like, these urban legends are fucking stupid.
Yeah, they're all really dumb.
And then I started thinking about it, I'm like, wow, like our superstitions come up with the dumbest fucking like. I was like, I absolutely completely get why people fall for religion now. Because if you think about an urban legend, like this just makes no fucking sense. 90% of our urban legends, like, don't even assume that they're based. It's like this: a frog jumped over a pond, which means that whenever you boil water, make sure you fucking take your socks off. And you're like, how does that fucking relate? Like, what the fuck? Like, that's how most of the urban legends in that movie are.
Yeah.
Which is, I just need you to watch and see how frustratingly dumb they are.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I watched that for you. I watched Woman of the Hour, the new Anna Kendrick. Yeah, new Anna Kendrick movie she wrote and produced. It's based on a true story of this killer who was like a photographer, but he would like, it was during the 70s. I want to say 60s or 70s.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, she was on the dating game, the dating game, where it's like 3 contestants and she's asking them questions. And then she like basically gets away from it. Like her part of the story is just kind of like not that big a deal.
So it's not about her character; it's about the killer.
It's more about the killer.
Okay.
She's the main character, but it's about the killer. Good. It was on Netflix. Solid watch. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. I don't think I've heard of it.
It's very new.
Yeah, she falls in that category of like quirky brunettes that says funny things online, so people love them.
Yeah, she's not. This isn't a comedy, so
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't think she's a bad actress by any means. No. Like, I don't think she's been in a bad movie. But Anna Kendrick's the one that Anna Kendrick's
Pitch Perfect.
Okay, yeah. Her
You're
and
thinking
then
of Zoe Deschanel.
No, I mean they're in the same category, and then the chick that did that was in the third Batman movie and Love, Sex, and Drugs. Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, they all kind of fall in that like, oh, they're so quirky online and in their social media.
Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, all that. There's like that. They all came up in that trend of that time period, with like the whole manic pixie girl. What like the manic pixie girl turned into quirky, like himbo chick kind of thing, and she fell into that category.
Excuse me. And then I got 3 more things. I watched It Chapter 2. Way better than the first one.
I told you.
You were not lying.
Yeah. And everyone says it's not. And I'm like, it's so much better.
It's so much better. The first thing that I wrote that was, I thought it was really funny when I was watching it. Pennywise is an ally.
Okay.
They killed the gay guy at the beginning, and then he came back. That's when he came back. Is after they killed the gay dude and threw him off the bridge, and he helped him out the water, and that's how Pennywise came back.
But then he ate the gay dude.
True.
I was like, wait,
he's
what?
only like partially an ally.
That's like,
he came back because they killed a gay, but he was hungry, so he ate the gay guy.
Yeah.
He ate the gay guy's heart, so Pennywise now is gay.
It's like, yeah, man, I'm helping all these slaves escape the South.
By eating them.
And then I'm eating them on the train north. Like, what? Delete that note.
Honestly, I wrote the note before he ate the fucking gay guy.
Okay. I was like, when you said that, I was like, and as soon as you brought up the gay guy, I was like, you sure you watched the same movie I watched?
I wrote it before he ate. He ate the guy's heart.
I respect that you doubled down and held that note.
Yeah, fuck it. Also, the best character in the entire movie is Bill Hader. Bill Hader is the best.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, don't get me wrong. James McAvoy is amazing. He always is amazing.
He's a better actor, but he's not a better in this movie.
I do appreciate that he like, I don't know if everybody noticed this. I mean, it should be. It's a big point. He like slowly regains his stutter.
Yeah.
That was quite impressive because at the beginning, when he comes back to town, he like only stutters like once.
Yeah, as soon as the table scene happens, he stutters a little bit,
and then it like slowly towards the end, he's back to how he was as a kid.
Yeah,
I really appreciated that. It's a very small like detail that I think is, James McAvoy is the shit.
Yeah,
but Bill Hader being like he's the perfect person to cast to be the
comedian guy, yeah.
Facts.
Like how they're like telling him to say something
screams at the fucking little kid in the fucking Chinese restaurant. Fuck you!
Yeah.
And when it's from your act, dude.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't write my own jokes. Oh yeah, dude. The entire movie, and then like when not Ben, because Ben's the Jewish guy that's like terrified towards the end, and like when
the guy that's scared the whole time.
I mean, they're all scared the whole time, but like,
No, I'm talking about the guy that's that like
yeah, that was in the
insurance adjuster or whatever. Yeah.
When the
Eddie.
yeah, when it's being their friend's face at like the spider, and he's like, he's like freaking out, and just like I don't know why it was supposed to be such an intense scene, but like 2 or 3 times in the movie, like he gets attacked, and every time he would say something, I'm just like,
It's so funny.
yeah, I'm just laughing at this like one of the most intense scenes in the movie, and I'm like, die.
No, when he's in the when he's in the basement and he sees his mom and then the weird creature and he's freaking out.
Yeah,
It's like, I gotta leave, mommy. You would leave me, mom. And then it all disappears and he's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. And when the fridge thing happens, when he's just like, fuck, or whatever, I was like, that's exactly how I would be, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, best part of the whole movie.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I liked it a lot. I'm gonna watch it again probably. I'm also gonna read it, I think.
I mean, you've read Stephen King. I was going to warn you. They took out a lot of, I'm going to say, the Coke things that Stephen King did.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. No, I am almost done with Pet Cemetery. I'm gonna get there, but I'm almost done with that.
Yeah, I watched the
weird.
OG miniseries, and I was like, that's when I was like,
The
kind
Tim
of like,
Curry one.
yeah. And like I'd read 1 or 2 Stephen King books at that point in my life, but I was really into Dean Koontz. And then I was like, because I always say Dean Koontz is Stephen King, just more focused.
Yeah, the times he's not like now.
Yeah.
So not on cocaine anymore.
Yeah, like Dean Koontz is like I'd say 85 to 90% of the potential of writing a Stephen King, but 100% focused on like just making a book and not spending 20 minutes describing someone's hat.
Yeah, so that's the thing I've noticed with Stephen King is he's the shit. Like I genuinely love his writing, like his ability to write, but yes, he does over describe things a little too much.
Yeah, and so you think it's gonna matter.
And then it doesn't.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
then
just like
other
he's
times,
really trying to paint that picture in your head, but I do kind of appreciate
and
that.
it's always well written.
Yes.
But sometimes I'm like, he'll do it and it does matter, and I'm like, oh man, you sold that. And then sometimes he'll do it and you're like, the fuck did I need to know this?
Yeah,
like
most of the time you don't.
Yeah. So like Dean Koontz only does that, which I guess is I kind of see the point where like it kind of like so it's like a balance of if nothing matters. I mean, if all of
He's
this
trying
is
to do it
important,
so
and
you
nothing
don't
matters.
always.
Yeah. That's I not to say
assume.
yeah, but like if something's super well described, but okay, this matters focus. So if you do it with everything, you never know, and it
always
kind of
focused.
trips you. But at the same time,
That's
it's like
good.
if you do it with everything, then I don't fucking care about anything.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You got to tone it down a little bit.
Right.
It is very. Just, I don't want to, because there's some things I don't want to spoil because I want to see your reaction to it, like the whole turtle thing, and then there's in the first half of the book there's.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when I read it. It might be. I would like to maybe do it by the end of the year. We'll see. Next month I'm gonna read 11/22/63 though, because that's all I've heard. I've seen the miniseries that was on Hulu with James Franco. It's the one where he goes back in time and tries to stop the assassination.
Yeah.
It's Tim's favorite book of all time. It's a lot of people's favorite book of all time.
I've never read it. I just, when you said I had to like pause like picture on my head, because I saw that somewhere, but
It's a thick boy. It's 1,200 pages.
Ooh, I can't read that good or that long. I need pictures to read.
Yeah, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna. That might be my one book I read next month, other than the audiobooks. So 2 more things that I watched. Nightmare on Elm Street. I watched the first one. It's fine. It's fine.
It's one of those fits the time. I preferred it to the first Friday the 13th.
I didn't.
Really? I did. Freddy's just funny.
Freddy is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I will say that shit is hilarious. He does have some wild one-liners. But I like the kills in Friday the 13th. I think that's why I appreciate that one a little bit more. Okay. And the second Friday the 13th has some of the funniest and craziest kills I've ever seen.
That's one where it's like with the cabin or whatever, where the chickens.
No, that's the third one. Okay. That's the third or fourth one.
Yeah, where like you actually see where he lives or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, the second one is when she wakes up in the hospital.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, something in the third one.
And one of the kills is he shoots a harpoon gun through the guy's head.
Yeah,
that shit was so fucking hilarious.
I will say that I will give you that because
the kills and fucking Jason's kills are so good.
Yeah, Freddy does way more like weird shit to people. But he does it to fuck with you. Whereas when Jason's
his hand comes up in the fucking tub and it's just
he's
he's fucked in the head.
Yeah.
I mean Yeah.
I mean, obviously, they kind of paint that picture very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jason definitely has better kills, but Freddy has better fuck you up, like fuck your heads up moments. And I kind of like that. Like
sure.
Freddy's almost like he needs that fear, so like he's spending his whole time
Yes.
seasoning you. But when he's ready to kill, it's very generic
Cool. Yeah,
most of the
yeah,
time. I think other than the bed kill with all the blood, it was like the only like kind of cool kill.
You're talking about the first bed kill or the second bed kill?
Which one's the one where like it's what they're
Where
about to have
she's like all over the ceiling and shit.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Kill.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the first kill he does in the movie.
That was the one that I was
That
like,
shit was so tight. I was
Yeah.
like, if we're setting the tone with this shit, oh, this is gonna
and
be
it
crazy.
does not live up to par.
No.
Yeah, and that's like I'll give you that. And it seems like because every time he's setting up the kills, you're like, oh man, this is about to be wild. And he's like,
Yeah.
we have claws. And you're like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
And then the last thing, so I was gonna watch something else, but I was watching it on Plex, and I didn't feel like dealing with all the commercials all the time because it was free. I was watching Halloween, but I only got like 30 minutes in.
Like the OG.
OG.
I was,
So I only saw the very beginning.
like, they've rebooted it like 3 times.
No,
I'd
I'm
ask which
watching. I'm
one.
starting with the OG.
Okay. So a lot of those, you got to look it up because I know.
No, we'll talk about it when I actually watch it.
No, just say a lot of them aren't canon anymore.
I don't care.
And a lot of them like aren't even about Michael Myers. Not even
That
about the
one's for sure about Michael Myers.
Yeah. I think
It
like
literally starts as him. As
it turned into like this weird cult witch town thing for a couple movies. I remember binging those, and it's.
I'm not planning on watching all of them.
Yeah,
I'm
I would-
planning
I
on
would-
watching like a probably first, second, maybe third.
You got to watch H2O.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then I'm gonna jump and I'll watch like H2O, and I'll probably watch like
Then you can watch the Rob Zombie.
the
Yeah.
Rob Zombie one. Yeah,
I think there's 2 of those, and then I haven't seen the new
Halloween
one.
Kills or something like that.
Yeah, there's like that new one.
Yeah.
that's like
it's
brings
called
Jamie-
Halloween,
Yeah, that brings. Yeah, I think that the third reboot one where it's like her
and they brought
later.
her back. Yeah,
Which is technically a sequel to the OG one, and it canceled all the other continuity. Yeah. I haven't seen that one yet. I heard it's decent though.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I watched 28 Days Later. I've never seen that, so I watched it.
Oh, it's so good.
It's good. I don't like I thought it was good, but I wasn't like I was. Maybe it was I just had my hopes set super high because everyone always talks about this movie being the shit. I do think it's good. I think it's a very solid zombie movie. Mainly because it has so much extra shit in it. Like, well, when they get into the compound and you get to deal with all that bullshit, and then the way it ends is pretty solid, but it's, it was good. I didn't think it was like the greatest thing. The cast was insane. Cillian Murphy's the shit.
Just really very sexy. I got so hyped, and you're like, "Calm down." It wasn't that good.
Well, man, it's one of those things where like I think I have my hopes set a little too high.
I could see that. I there's one other.
People just always talk about the 28 days and weeks later movies.
20 Weeks Later is good as well. I don't think it's as good. But I don't think it wasn't that it was as good of a movie. I think it was just kind of the tone had been set, so people knew what to expect. Because it was. So it has 2 things that I think. Now that I like had my moment to reflect and had my chest deflated.
Yeah, bring you down a little bit.
Yeah. One, it came out during the zombie craze.
Right.
And then 2, it was a unique take on zombies during the zombie craze, which
Right.
was like, it was that thing where like, it was kind of zombies were getting stale. And then this did something cool and unique with zombies. And then they're just, the whole ragement thing that it turned them into zombies. Like, it's just such a cool thing instead of them they're not actually undead. You know what I mean? They're just rage. So like, they fucking go ham. You know what I mean? It is pure id.
And it might just be because I didn't watch it during that time. So maybe it doesn't hold up. I don't know. You'd have to rewatch it. It didn't.
I mean, I've rewatched it before.
I don't know. It didn't.
But I mean,
didn't-
I can't
That's what I'm saying. Like,
nostalgia it.
I've watched so many different ones, and I don't know.
I
It's
think
not during the zombie craze anymore.
I wouldn't say it's like the best zombie movie ever, but it was definitely of its time my favorite movie wise.
I could see why people love it, but it was fun. Like, I wasn't mad that I watched the movie.
Yeah. So now you have to watch 28 Weeks Later.
You have it? No, because it's not streaming. You can't find these movies. That's the only reason I watched it, is because turns out that we have a copy of it, of the first one.
So
You can't even buy.
I want to say I used to own both of them, but like once I started paying for like 27 streaming services. Like I know as much as they give you, like I used to have a shit ton of DVDs and Blu-rays and even VHS. And then like once it got streaming and I was like, oh, everything I want to watch is online.
Yeah.
Or I had a digital copy of it through means on a hard drive. So I just started purging.
I might need you
I mean, I don't have it.
to go through means to
Yeah. Okay. I'll see what I can do.
find weeks and
Yeah.
have they done months?
I don't think there's a third. I think it was just 2.
So then the third one's about to happen
Yeah. I don't
with
think.
Cillian Murphy back.
Yeah. If it's coming out, I have not seen it.
I didn't know if it was the third or the fourth. That's gonna come out.
I've only seen 2. I didn't even know there was a third or a third coming. So
Yeah.
we'll have to look that up. But if there is, I'm fucking hyped for it.
Yeah, I want to watch Weeks so that I can watch all of them. Plus, it's October. That's why I figured I'd watch it.
Yeah, you've been on this. I feel like I started with like Hellraiser, and then I watched Event Horizon. I did all of my horror movie like binging and Hostel, and God, there was so many horror movies I watched this year, and I barely watched.
You watched all the Saw movies and shit. Too.
Yeah, like I was like, we were just on like our bender, and like she was just loving it. Like it's funny too because like I am such a bitch for scary movies,
I'm a pussy,
and she eats that shit up. Like when we were watching it, I think it was the first one right before the Deadlight thing happened, when he first shows up and he's doing the like dance and the camera's doing that fucked up thing. Like I've seen that in a preview and it still freaked me out, and she is cracking up laughing. Like I was getting like my feelings hurt because I knew she was laughing at the movie, not at me, because Pennywise is fucking funny in those movies. Like he's genuinely fucking funny. Bill Skarsgård does an amazing job.
Yeah, he does.
But like I like inside it was like you're over here laughing and I'm clutching your hand.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not having a good time.
yeah, I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, look at the funny clown. And I'm like, oh, look at the funny clown.
And my thing is like, I'm not afraid of clowns, but that shit is it's creepy and it's supposed to be.
Yeah. I do like when they're like, what are you afraid of? And Bill Hader's character, can't remember what his name is, just like, I don't like clowns. And I was like, oh, that's a perfect thing to be afraid of in this fucking movie.
Facts. And then as far as reading, like I said, I'm reading Pet Sematary. I'm almost done. How much do you know of Pet Sematary?
I've seen the movie.
Okay, so he's at the cemetery.
Like for the first time?
Or Gage is buried.
Okay, yeah.
He's about to go try and dig him up.
All right, yeah.
That's where I am.
Okay. That's what's like, because like that's what I meant. Like the first time, like did they just put him in the cemetery?
Yes, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, yeah, he's already been buried.
Okay.
His wife and Ellie are about to fly back.
With you.
Yeah. So yeah, I have I think I have like 80 pages left. I'm almost done.
Yeah. I mean, obviously where they're gonna put them.
I just assume, and I've been pissed off the last like 50 pages. So I'm like, this fucking dumbass is gonna do this, and it's like he's telling himself logically that it's a terrible fucking idea. Like he's gonna have to explain this shit, but he's still doing it. And then poor fucking Judd, keeps trying to talk him out of it.
I don't know. I don't remember names.
Judd is the old guy across the street.
Okay.
Keeps trying to talk him out of it, but he don't want to listen.
I was like, I think I was in like high school when I saw this movie. So
okay. Yeah, so I'll probably have that finished. I don't know, by the end of the week I'll have it finished, and then I'll read something else.
Fucking nerd.
And then I am still listening to Fellowship of the Ring. I will say, this is gonna make a lot of fucking nerds mad, but I don't give a fuck.
Oh, he took the glasses off.
Tom Bombadil, it was a good move leaving him out of the movies. He's not a good character.
I have no idea who we're talking about. Who's Tom Bombadil?
Tom Bombadil is...
I think it's okay to spoil it at this point.
He's one of the wizards. Because, there's multiple wizards, right?
Yeah, there's like the white, the gray, because he was the gray becomes a white.
Right, so there's Gandalf, Sauron, the brown, I just forgot.
The brown's the dude from The Hobbit, right?
Yeah, I just blanked on his fucking name.
Dude from The Hobbit.
Yeah, and then there's the green and the blue. So, Tom Bombadil is essentially God. He's essentially God. Like, he was the first. Because you know how they're like, essentially like gods.
Yeah, that like came down.
Right. They're like lesser gods, basically.
Yeah, but it never like fully like.
Tom Bombadil was the first.
So I think there's so like to that, because I know like the whole movie is supposed to be like a Catholic allegory. And so, like, the way it was explained to me was, like, Gandalf is, like, one of the higher angels. And the seraphs, like, you know, the ones that would have been, like, the rings with the eyes and the wings. He's basically that. And then he said basically the equivalent of God is in the books as well. That
Tom Bombadil is
so that
God.
would be him? Okay. Because that's how it was explained to me. That's, like,
He
that's
talks
what they are
about
in
being there at the
Catholic allegory.
beginning, and he'll be there forever. He is God. He just sings too much. It would not have been good to watch in the movie. The way they did him in Rings of Power, solid. He just kind of like talks in a like
Sing-song voice?
no, he doesn't even talk in a sing-song
Wait,
voice.
he's
Like he
in-
does
he's
sing.
in Ring of Power?
Season 2. So he does sing a little bit, but he talks more in like riddles and shit. The way he like his delivery is really good. The way they did it in Rings of Power is good. If they went based off this fucking book though, it would have been bad. He's not a bad character. Like he's cool, but he just sings so fucking much.
Maybe you should have read it, then it wouldn't be. Maybe it wouldn't be as bad if you're physically.
No, because you
reading it.
can. Because you read The Hobbit, you know when the fucking music is, the songs are.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's like
I'm still reading a fucking song.
yeah, I'd rather read it than like it's almost like musicals. Like I'd rather like read a musical than listen to a musical because it like even if they're good songs, it to me in media it gets old fucking fast.
Yeah, so that's how I felt. He's a cool character. He's powerful, obviously, because he's God. But yeah, he's not a good character. I'm glad they left him out. And the more I listen, like the farther I get in this book, there's a lot of people like that shit on Peter Jackson for his interpretation. I think he fucking nailed it. I think he left the right things in.
That's what I said. That's what I wanted to know. Like, do you feel like he like the shit
So
he
far-
cut was?
so far I think he did the right move. There are a lot of things that are different, but they're not like huge differences. Like when they leave Hobbiton, it's only 3 people and they meet Mary at a different place. Like at first it's just Pippin, Sam, and Frodo. They leave and then eventually they meet up. Like they're running from one of the riders for a while before they even meet up with Mary. And they also run into elves almost right away.
Oh, in the book, really?
Yes. And Strider is obviously way different in the book. He's just different. He also tells you who he is pretty quick.
Like just
He tells Frodo that he is Aragorn.
oh.
Like within probably 15 pages of meeting him, if that. It's like the same chapter.
So there's no like mystery to him like there's in the movie.
There's no mystery. Like it's not when you don't wait to find out until the actual meeting, when like you do in the book.
Oh. You've gotten to the meeting, right?
No, they're almost to Rivendell.
All right, so
He
the
got
fellowship
stabbed.
hasn't been formed. Oh,
No.
okay.
He just got stabbed, and they are.
What are they? Ring race?
Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what they're called.
Yeah. So, yeah, and they don't meet not Gladriel. His girl, the elf, fucking.
The one that Liv Tyler plays.
Yes.
I don't. Dude, I'm not the Lord of the Ring guys. I've seen the movies. I read The Hobbit, but
I can't remember her name, and I'm getting screamed at right now. But yeah,
just Liv Tyler. The whisper,
haven't seen Liv
the
Tyler
whispery elf
the hot one.
that
I haven't
whispers
seen her
out
yet.
all of her fucking lines.
Yeah.
God, she's such a bad actress.
No way.
She is
Yeah,
so
way.
bad. She is so.
She's
I was
real.
like, do not defend her. This will be a fight.
I like her, but obviously a bias. I just love those movies, and
She's in.
I love Armageddon too.
She's in good movies. She's just not good in them.
She's in bad ones too, because she was in.
I mean, yeah.
She was in Pearl Harbor, and that movie
didn't like Pearl
sucks, dude.
Harbor?
That movie's trash. There's no way you like that. That movie's so bad.
I definitely
is so fucking bad.
Okay,
She likes that movie, and I'm like, this movie sucks.
I could see like why people liked it because it was definitely just trying to be.
It's just a romance.
It was trying to be what Titanic was.
Yes, but not good.
Yeah, like
Titanic was good.
Yeah, everything in this movie just screamed like I want to relive and recapture Titanic, and I was like, you didn't do it.
Yeah, you fucking swing and a miss.
Yeah, because I mean, I will admit, Titanic is an amazing movie. I didn't care much for it, but I respect what it was.
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor was like, I don't think anyone expected it to be what it was.
No.
And then
I thought it was going to be a war movie, not a fucking romance.
Yeah, and then like the first, it's weird because it's like 2 movies.
Yeah.
Because like the first half is basically Titanic, and then the actual collapsing of the ship part that was the ending of Titanic, they just turned that into a whole other fucking like after Pearl Harbor attack, and then they go and do like the attack on Japan. I'm like, how long is this fucking movie?
Yeah.
Like I was ready to get out of my fucking seat. I was like, I will watch this shit later. I am so over this movie
anymore.
And the second half is actually that part, like from the attack on, is actually a decent movie. Like if they would have just done that war movie and like kind of subplotted the love, it would have been a good action movie.
Yeah.
But they took a terrible romance movie and mixed it in with an okay action movie, and it just turns it into like, just what the fuck am I watching for 3 hours?
Yeah.
God damn you, Ben Affleck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I started reading something else new. It's another scary book. I was reading it at work. It's called Grimoire. It's like it's honestly like it feels like the way it's starting is like between 2 fires. So it's during the plague in France.
Right up your alley.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be really cool.
Your tragedy porn horror.
But I like have not read a lot of books this month, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself.
It's weird. I haven't either.
Well, I had like the plans to read probably like, I think I had the plans to read about 8, and I am through 1. I finished 1. I'll finish Pet Sematary, and I'll finish Lord of the Rings by the end of it.
It's so weird too, because like I read so much, but like I don't know if maybe it's just like a phase or older, but like I've always been a huge reader. And I read books for like most of my life. Like that was like outside of video games, I'd say it was like video games, books, then anime was like my, and then music throughout, but that was like my priority. And then, over the years, like I don't read any less than I used to read. I just don't read.
You read different shit. Yeah, you read manga.
No, not even that. I mean, like I do read manga, but like I read a lot of like, I don't want to say like to learn, you know what I mean? Like,
you do though.
Yeah, but like that's what most of my thing is. Like I read things because I'm curious.
Read articles and shit like that.
And it's like I'm reading less. It's like if the intention isn't
still
entertaining,
reading. It's just not novels.
So I'm saying I still read just as much as I always have. It just I went through like a phase where like I felt like if you're intelligent, you have to read books. Intelligent people read books. And then I went through a phase where
I remember thinking that too.
Yeah, like
I'm not fucking intelligent.
Yeah, because it was like a thing where like like where people like go out in public and read to be seen reading. You know what I mean? And it's like thing where I like reading outdoors. It's nice to change the ambiance, as opposed to sitting on your couch and reading.
Right. But I like doing that too. I like going. There's a coffee shop down on Magnolia. I was like, this is just it's cozy. It's like this feels like a place you want to read. But I'm not sitting on this, like you're saying, I'm not sitting on a park bench like this with my book. Like, hey, look at me, fuckface.
There's like that phase. I call it like the Starbucks era, like where people go to like do their writing there. Like people would go to be seen reading. I want to go public.
Exactly.
And I seeing that kind of made me like reassess it. Like I know a lot of dumb people that read. Like you're not just smarter because you read. And then I was like, I like reading, but if I'm gonna keep reading, that's when I started going down my rabbit holes of like, I wouldn't say educational reading, but just like...
you want to read stuff that you are interested in. That's the whole fucking point.
And it was more of a like, I stopped reading less for entertainment and more for just like learning things.
Informational.
Like, politics. And then like, definitely once like the whole Facebook misinformation thing started, like I was like, this sounds crazy. There's no way this is true. And then I start reading an article, and then I got to read another article, and then like, I'll watch a video on it and they'll link a resource. And I'm like, well, now I got to read that. And then I end up down these rabbit holes. So I do a lot of that, but I am oddly entertained by it, but the intent isn't entertainment, but I get more joy from doing that than I do from just picking up a book. And
I get it.
I'll like be watching anime and have like a random thought, and I'll just like close it and just like get on my Internet Explorer and start like looking, I'll Google something, and I'm like, I'm just literally digging through articles and things, waiting for something to have a link to an actual like genuine resource or like where it came from, and then like I'm just digging through graphs and datas and reading on it. I'm just like, I should be watching anime right now, but instead I'm fucking reading about the murder rates versus suicide rates and guns in the United States. Like, so then because I had an argument today with someone and he swore that, you know, gun deaths, I was explaining how gun deaths aren't as bad in America as we make them seem, and it's a fear monger thing. So he was doing the, like, I need a gun for self-defense. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with having a gun for self-defense, but like, you're more likely to kill yourself with that gun than you are to kill somebody else or be killed. And he was like, that's just not true. So we had to look up the suicide rate and all that. And then obviously it's been proven that more people kill themselves with guns than they kill other people. Yeah. And then he was obviously like, I know that's actually a fact and it's been proven, but I don't like it, so I disagree. So then my dumbass kept arguing with him about it because I can't just be right. I need him to admit that he's wrong, and people that are wrong will never admit that they're wrong. Right. So then I went home,
just taken the dub and walked away.
But I didn't feel like I had the W because when you're fighting with stupid people,
you work with stupid people.
Yeah. So then I went home and did more research on it. So with the intent of going back the next day, and then I ended up sating myself by just reading and doing more research. I'm like, I'm actually good. So now, and that's my new thing now, because I just realized like I'm done arguing with stupid people other than you. So like now,
I fucking knew that was coming. I tried to beat you to it. I thought about it. I was like,
yeah. And like someone will just say some wild shit that I know is wrong, and I'll just, instead of arguing with them, I just go look it up and I read about it. And like, I am now smarter than I already was. And I do not, one, because I learned something, and two, because I chose not to engage you.
Yeah.
And then I can just mock you in my head and be completely fine with that. It's
fair enough. Fair enough. Well, what have you watched?
Oh shit. It's like an hour in.
Well, we do this thing when I usually go through my list where we just like go on tangents.
Yeah.
And usually if you've seen it too, we just talk about it.
Yeah. So obviously I watched Dawn to Dawn.
Yep.
I've already seen both it, so I'll talk about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I started watching Dragon Ball Daima.
Yeah, how is it? I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard it's not bad. I've heard it's one of those like, it's actually pretty good if you don't have a bitch in your ear telling you it sucks.
Yeah, honestly, like I've heard, obviously people saw like Mini Goku, and like the opening screams what Dragon Ball GT wanted to be.
Okay.
With the whole, because you know what GT
is just like Dragon Ball over again, right?
Kind of. It's like, so it's like
it mixes that with Z.
It's like they take the like where Z went with the fights and the power system, but the adventure of Dragon Ball.
Okay.
And that's kind of the vibe they're going for. So, and I know like when I say that, people are going to scream and run away from it, but like so far it's pretty good. It has that Dragon Ball vibe where it's kind of like a little amusing, almost like nauseously cute how it was in the beginning a little bit with the peel off.
Yeah,
like
it was really.
The main villain gives me a lot of peel off vibes, which most Dragon Ball villains before turned into Kai battles did.
Right.
So it's very Dragon Ball in that. I'm confused because Super picks up right after Dragon Ball Z ends, and this show kind of starts in that same, I guess technically like literally where the Buu saga ends in Dragon Ball Z. They're celebrating that, and that's where this show kicks off. So I'm just curious to see is this like a split continuity, continuity Super, or is this going to be like this all happened and then Super happens after?
Could be, yeah, like there's a little bit of gap in time.
Yeah, because they don't specifically say where like Beerus comes down, which is what starts Super in the movies, like exactly when.
Right.
So far it's okay. The animation's decent. I'm kind of iffy on the music.
Yeah, well, Dragon Ball's music is okay.
Yeah,
the opening. Relax. The opening for Dragon Ball is decent. It's better than 97% of One Piece openings.
Yeah, and so that's my issue. I like Dragon Ball and all the Dragon Ball Z openers, both American and Japanese. I wasn't really feeling this intro.
Okay.
And this is the first time, even GT, I like the intro. Super, I like the intro. I didn't really.
Sometimes you get swings and misses the first one. I mean, you never know. The next intro could be good. That was the outro. Was the outro fucking shitty too?
Nah.
It was just meh.
Yeah. Like it wasn't bad, but it was meh.
Yeah.
And like even the music in the show, like I really, and I know a lot of it's nostalgia, but even Dragon Ball Z, I really like the music in the show and it fit the theme.
The music in the show is better than the intro, outro.
Yeah. And so far I mean, there's not a lot of music that I really noticed, but like that's another thing. I didn't really notice the music. I had to go back and watch part of the first episode to so I realized none of the music was catching my attention to even care enough to notice it, which let me know that I was not interested in it. Yeah. And then I went back and listened for it, and I was like, yeah, no, it's not bad. it's like it's not good enough to be noteworthy so far, but it's also not bad enough to be noteworthy. So I have to force myself to go listen to it so I can make a note of the fact that it's not noteworthy.
Right.
I watched 2 episodes. I'm curious. I'm interested, but I don't know. I can't say if it's going to be good or bad. Right now, I'm living off of the nostalgia of what it could be and what it's coming from and what it's trying to emulate.
You've only watched 2 episodes, so
yeah, but it's definitely not like
wait and see.
No Dragon Ball series starts off where it's like a bang, so I wasn't expecting much. So I don't really have opinions on it yet.
Fair enough.
I finished Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Okay.
So it ends. I watched the Cell Saga, and then like it's called the Boo Bits because they only did like parts of the Boo Saga, so it's like a compilation clip. Like doesn't really like tell you what happens. And then I started watching the Dragon Ball Z Abridged movies.
Okay.
Because they did 12 of them, I want to say.
Jesus.
And I've seen each one's like 12 minutes long.
Oh. Okay.
So it's like I think I watched 4. Yeah, I want to say I watched 4 of those. Yeah, so I'm like 4 movies in. I watched another anime. I can't remember what else I watched. Oh, I watched 2 episodes of One Piece.
Okay.
Summer War has not started.
Yeah. I got to get there first.
Yeah. So I thought, and I know I realized when I was watching it in my head that the way you made it sound of like, not Enies Lobby, what is it called? Impel Down happens, and then like you go straight into the Summit War.
I mean, it does, but
yeah,
it's
but like
One Piece.
I forgot the asterisk of in One Piece terms. So I thought literally like the Impel Down was going to end, and then like the next episode they were going to get to.
They do have to float on a ship. They are pirates.
Yeah, but like it's weird because sometimes when they float on a ship, it's 2 or 3 episodes. Sometimes it's like that.
They find the next island. Yeah, no, I know.
So I don't know why in my head hearing you, I just expected them to just be there already, and then I was like, maybe I should put this down.
Yeah.
And then I watched the first episode of Bleach.
Oh, okay. I'm 1 episode behind.
I've only watched the first one.
Okay.
So I'm still playing catch up with you on that.
Yeah, I think I watched like 3 episodes. So you're.
Oh, I'm way behind. Yeah, I was trying to catch up, but I was like, I wasn't. I started all these shows, but I didn't like.
Well, yeah, you know what happens in Bleach, so you just didn't dive into it.
Well, not even that. Like I watched Bleach before I watched Dawn to Dawn, and I was like, all right. Then I was like, I know what happens. I need to stop this and go watch Dawn to Dawn. And then I watched the first 2 episodes of Dawn to Dawn, but I watched it just to see if I would like it. But also where it is, I've read the manga for this specific part, so I know what happens. Right. So I'm like, all right, I can put this down. I have no idea what Dragon Ball Daima is, so let me go watch this. And like and then I watched the first 2 episodes, and I was like, because I think when I watched it, there's only 2 out at the time. I don't know if there's a 3rd one yet. And I was like, all right, I'm interested. So
Dawn to Dawn?
No, Dragon Ball Daima. There's 3 for Dawn to Dawn, I think.
Yeah.
There was 1 I hadn't seen. But I was
like,
one
comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm committed, so I'm good. Move on to the next show. Went to Dragon Ball Daima. I was like, this I have no context for. So I watched the 2. And I was like, cool, I'm interested. I'm not sure if I'm in or out yet, but I'll keep watching it. And then I was like, fuck, I need to finish fucking One Piece. Yeah. So I went and watched 2 of those. And then I was like, I kind of think I like burnt myself out not just watching the show. Yeah. But I need to catch up to all these shows because like since they're all currently going on, so I can just watch them weekly. Yeah. But I just like I fucking damn near gave myself an aneurysm jumping from show to show, and then even app because Bleach is on Hulu. And then I was like, fuck, I need to stay away from Bleach because everything else I can watch on Crunchyroll. So let me just fucking stay on Crunchyroll. And then I fucking, because it has like recently watched like a Boruto. I like Boruto episode started back, so I clicked on it. And I had like this huge laugh to myself, like we're not even gonna entertain this.
It's
like,
gonna be a no for me, dog.
Because now that I restarted Naruto, it's just on my watch list, and like the only way for me to get rid of it is to like click through having like go to the last episode and continue watching it. And I was like, you're just gonna sit there forever because I'm not going to go back to you, but I don't need you tempting me. But yeah, that's it for anime.
Okay. Wait, did you finish Uzumaki?
Oh shit! Yeah,
so I haven't finished that yet.
I forgot.
I assumed you had.
I finished Uzumaki. Sunday, the last episode came out.
So I was gonna watch it, but I ended up watching.
I mean,
Angel Beats.
Everything I expected it to be. It hit the manga beat for beat, pretty much.
I'm gonna finish it. Don't worry. I mean, it's only 2 more episodes.
I kind of feel like it was almost too faithful of an adaptation now. Like everything I liked about how we talked about how it's kind of like stop motion and all that. Like, it worked really well with that story. I liked that they kept it black and white. I liked they mostly kept up with the quality. But also I was like, I didn't want them to change anything, but like I kind of figured it would get more animated as it went towards like, because as you can tell, each episode shit just gets wilder and wilder.
Right.
And this last episode shit just goes off fucking cliff, like most of his stories do. And I thought they would put more, kind of like how you feel about Blue Lock. They were saving the budget to like, but they stepped to the theme. So it was clearly like, it wasn't a budget thing. It was an artistic choice.
Right.
So it's not that I hated it. I just, in my mind, had set up that it was going to be more than it was.
Okay.
So it literally, like, if you've read the manga, you've watched the show. If you've watched the show, you've read the manga. It's not one of those like, this one's better, bad adaptations. Like,
Right.
it is beat for beat, spot for spot.
Right.
That's that audiobook thing. It is that.
I'm okay with it. Though.
I want to go online now that it's over. I wanted to give it a couple days and like just see people's reaction to it, because his books have very weird endings, and like all of his manga, and
see
like
that.
it like, because all the concepts are like almost like either cosmic horror, like Lovecraftian style, where like it never really explains the evil. Like it talks about what the thing is, but like most of his stories don't have like a conclusive like, so in 1984 this dude laid a fucking, you know, like flower and it bloomed. Like it's just like, no, some wild shit that makes no sense to the human mind and psyche is occurring, and it's just, can you survive and live with this? And that's literally how his stories go. So I want to see how upset people are about the ending, just because I've seen people online trying to understand the Uzumaki and what it is and what it means and like if it's God or whatever. And I'm like, you think you're gonna get an answer? You're not.
Yeah.
Like, you're
I'm
gonna
I'm not trying to get to a deeper meaning when it comes to this.
Yeah, I'm
just buckled in for the
a lot of his
theatrics.
stories are very just, I'm here to fuck up your brain.
Right.
And
that's what I assumed going in,
there is a meaning to it.
but I don't care.
Yeah, it's nothing. None of them are written in a way where you need some deeper meaning. It's one of those, it is what it is kind of things.
Yeah.
So I think you'll like the ending, but I feel like a lot of people have
Everybody wants a
expectations.
fucking meaning for everything. Yeah.
Like now with art critique, as hypocritical as that, people demand some deeper meaning. So I'm like waiting like a bunch of YouTube videos of people deep diving and analysis.
Hey man, I used to be like that too, and then I watched Evangelion, and now I don't give a fuck about endings or meaning.
Yeah, like, was it good? It was good.
was
Sometimes it's there. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Was it a fun ride? Yeah. Was the end like, did it make sense? No. Okay.
Yeah,
it was still a fun ride.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't make sense in a way that it's palatable.
If I'm entertained the whole way through, I'm like easy, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I like more things than you do, just because like if I'm entertained, I don't give a fuck. As long as it doesn't suck.
Oh no, I love a good turn my brain off. I mean, I watch fucking shonen anime. I'm good with a good turn my brain off.
But I don't like, you critique it a little bit more, which is fine. I'm not
I do.
critiquing you for it, but like, you say like, if you love it, usually you'll critique it, which is fine. But for me, it's like, it's a little harder for me to do. I can do it when you start getting into things, and I can be like, okay, I see that, I see that, I see that. But like for me, if I'm entertained, like I don't give a fuck.
But that's like that's what I say. Like I always watch things like as just someone watching TV, and then as a critic. But like, it never makes me like it less. I just get enjoyment of like breaking down media in that way, which is why I watch a lot of YouTube, because I like seeing other people, and it kind of expands my view too. Like I never watch. I'll watch it for explanations on things if I'm just like JJK. I was like, I just don't get this. I need someone to explain this to me.
That's
But like how we were talking about with Ava, like I remember like in the infancy of YouTube and AnyTube, like I love watching videos, not because I thought someone was going to explain Ava to me, because there's some things that are very on the nose and some things that are very abstract, and things that he just openly said, like, I just did it because it was cool. And I like all those answers. I accept all that. But people had this like, this is exactly what it means. And I'm like, the author literally told you different. Like, death of the author. This is what it means. I'm like, well, if it's death of the author, then it's whatever I think it means.
Yeah.
But like, I like that comparative analysis, and like I like it because when I do it with this show, I can watch this show with a different view, and like I can appreciate other things.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do get too in my head and have to block things out. But like Hunter x Hunter, I don't think if I had a more critical lens, I would have enjoyed Hunter x Hunter as much as I did. Because like I feel like, and it's like I feel like people that have a more critical lens in their media enjoy Hunter x Hunter for what it deconstruct from things they previously critiqued, and people that just want face value action tend to not like Hunter x Hunter because of the deeper themes.
So the only time I get like that is if I've had something hyped up for me.
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter was so hyped up for me that I was like, oh, this is it.
Yeah. But Hunter x Hunter is like, it is the hipster shonen.
I mean, beg to differ, but I'm not.
What would you say is the hipster shonen?
Do we count Cowboy Bebop as a shonen?
Absolutely not.
Shampoo isn't either. The hipster, I mean, at this point,
I don't mean hipster and like it's well, like I mean hipster and like I like it because of the like all the shit all that bougie shit.
Full Metal Alchemist probably feels more like the hipster answer. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I feel like there's.
But no, I respect that.
I feel like more people think that's the cool answer, and more people have seen that one. More people, I feel like, dissect it more. The crowd that's like Hunter x Hunter is their fucking favorite are like you. We're like, you love it for all of the things that it dissects, and you love all the deeper shit that's in it. And me, I thought it was fine. There were things about it that I really, truly love, and there are things that I absolutely fucking hate and I wish weren't in it. And now I'm reading it, and my brain hurts.
And it only gets so much worse.
I know. It's just like
every chapter, you're just like,
fuck my life.
You get like this dialogue dump, and you're like, all right, cool, let's get to it. And they're
I'm
like,
so
wait.
I'm so close to just finding a YouTube video that explains to get me to the point where the new stuff is out. I'm genuinely so close, but I want to read it just because he does have those double fucking panels that are just so pretty to look at. But there's so much fucking information, and I feel like I've missed so much shit, even though I've read it.
Yeah, like I mean, like I said, there was a point where like when it came out of hiatus 2 years ago, I was like, all right, I need to go like remember some of the Secession War stuff, and like I literally had to like write down like what prince this was and who like and what queen they were attached to, because like when I first started reading, I was like, all right, there's 14 princes, and you know the priority based on birth. But then they introduced the queen aspect of like what queen number,
6 of them or some shit.
Yeah, and so like 1 and 4 are the same queen. So technically 4 has more power than 3 because it's the first queen. So I had this like fucking chart,
fucking flow chart.
Yeah, and I'm like, I remember giving up and be like, you know what? It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter. I read it, I know it, but I'll never fully understand it because it's just too much fucking work.
Shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I love that it does it. It's like Game of Thrones level of depth in a fucking shonen, but at the same time, you're like, sometimes I just want to watch I'm just like you. I just want like, I love Bleach for the same reason you love Bleach.
Oh, it's just so fun.
Yeah, I love, but
it's
like
hype.
I also go into shows with expectations of one or the other, and like I've even ruined shows for myself. Like you, with instead of the hype, it's the expectation. Like if I go in brain off, punchy fun, good to go. Yeah. If I go in like, oh, dude, this show is deep or it's good, and then it's not, and then I'm like, ugh, you know what I mean?
Yep. I went in assuming that Fruits Basket was going to blow my fucking dick off, and it's just not for me.
Yeah. And so shit like that kind of just...
Full Metal Alchemist, the first time I watched it, I was like, Brotherhood, I was like, this is good, but I really had my expectations set so high for how much, like, it was the number one anime for
But I also told you, that is an intro anime, so it's ranked number one because for most people that is their first like shonen that's more than just punchy kicky with like it talks about God and religion. Like it's the first
power system's really solid too.
And that's why I kind of agree with the hipster thing. Like that is the first shonen most people watch that has like, I mean, a lot of them do have deeper themes, but like the deeper themes are central to the plot. They're not background.
Facts.
And so like for most people, that's like, oh, you can watch shonen and be mature. Yeah. So that's why it was so popular. And it's kind of what's popular about Frieren too in that same regard. Yeah. It's just done better, I think, in Frieren. Yeah. And now, but I mean, also you have the hindsight of Full Metal existing, and so of course you can.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I do think Full Metal it hits the most wickets of shonen in a good way, but I don't think it does any of them well enough. Like I will take things that are 10s and half the categories and 2s and others over a show that's just 6s and 7s across the board. And I feel like Full Metal Alchemist is great. It's 7.5s across the board, but there's no 10s. The fights are good, but they're not, oh my God, amazing. The animation is good, but it's not blowing your socks off.
For me, I think the power system's the only thing that's even close to a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say the power system is one of the best ones.
Good.
But
it's my favorite one.
Everything in the show is good to great, but there's nothing amazing about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And that's always been my issue with Fullmetal Alchemist. Why I could never see it as like the best. Like Hunter x Hunter does a lot of things terribly, and I have no problem admitting it. But the things it does well, it does better than anything. JoJo is probably my favorite flawed shonen.
I love that shit so much.
Yeah, like it is so good, but like trying to get someone into JoJo's
does not matter.
Yeah, like there's so many caveats. Like you're gonna like this show, but and it's like
you're
a 10.
Gonna suck dick.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna dye your hair, you're gonna put on a fishnet skirt, and you're gonna fucking get run through, and then you'll come home and be like, I get it now. You know, like you have to suffer to like that show. Yeah, and it's just absurd to tell someone like you'll enjoy it in hindsight, but you will suffer to enjoy the show. Yeah, and it won't just be the beginning. It's gonna come back. It's gonna
continue to be like that. Yeah, facts.
And then like it's one of those like that. You have to just accept the absurdity, even if you don't like it, until you like it.
Yeah.
It's like getting someone, I tell drinking JoJo's, like when I was talking about you and Rooks, like, it's like trying to get someone into beer. You know, like everyone hates beer when they first try it, but you drink it because, you know, I'm underage, just what I can drink, or my friends drink it.
We don't condone underage drinking.
Do not drink underage. But then you get to a point where you're like, beer's all right. I can drink it. It does the job. And then, 3 years later, you're fucking twirling your mustache at some fucking local brewery comparing levels of hops and IPA percentages. You know what I mean? So that's what JoJo's is. But I mean, you're also that dude at that point.
Also sitting on a dildo.
Yes. Like a vibrating 3-legged stool.
Up your ass. You always have a butt plug in.
Yeah. And Hunter x Hunter does a way better job than JoJo's of doing the action enough to get you in, but still having the depth.
Cool.
For live action, I never got to finish. You made me rant. We're going to get through this before we turn this thing off.
Yeah, because I have other stuff to talk about.
Fuck, what did I watch? I just lost all my shit. Agatha, all along.
Yep.
Obviously, the new episode comes out tonight. The teen is exactly what I thought it was. It was super obvious the whole time. They kind of do like a little twisting. I know you haven't watched it. I'm not going to talk to you about it. The Penguin, fucking, oh my God.
Still behind on it.
Every episode just gets better and better.
I know.
And
I'll catch
fucking
up,
better. And this episode had some fucking heart-wrenching goddamn moments. What else did we watch? Oh, sorry. There's like just randomly, I was sitting on Netflix, kind of bored, and I found this random show called Chaos on Netflix that I checked out.
What do you think?
I fucking love it.
It's great, right?
Oh my God. I apologize for everything I said about Jeff Goldblum. He crushes it.
He crushes it, right? I don't think I finished it. I think I might have a couple more episodes to watch.
I've only seen 3. I started 4 because there's 8 episodes, and I started 4.
I think I watched like 6 of them. So I might have a couple more.
Yeah, there's 8 altogether.
So I don't remember if I finished it.
Yeah, I just saw Poseidon in this last episode. Fucking love him.
Great choice too.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All the actors they chose for all of these.
Everyone crushed. All the gods are perfect. Dionysus, fucking perfect.
Yep.
I love all the interpretations of Greek mythology in like a modern world.
Because
like
they're super accurate.
Yeah, like the Furies being like a bunch of badass biker chicks that literally hunt people down.
Yes.
I was like, the fucking the Sisters of Fate being like basically drag queens. I was like, oh, I fucking love this so much.
And they fucking killed that shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
So good.
Every god kills it. Hera, oh my God, the Hera scene when Zeus is trying to make a baby. And then she's in the bed smoking. And then he's like, you know what you need to do with it. I was just like, yeah, Hera's a monster. And I was like, yeah, just like Greek mythology. Yep. Like we keep pausing it because I hear her name and I'm like, ooh, I know who that is. Ooh, I know who that is. Yeah. And I'm like talking to her and she's like, calm down, fucking nerd. Like,
shut up, dork. Watch the show.
Yeah, and I like she finds it adorable about me, but I can feel like I feel loved.
She also wants you to shut up so you can watch it.
It's like I've never felt so loved and judged at the same time when I'm watching shit like this.
I get it.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Cool.
I gotta start writing notes.
I'm glad that you that's the last thing you brought up because that show fucking rules.
I was intentionally saving that.
So glad you watched it.
If you have not seen Chaos, fucking I promise you, within like 20 minutes of the first episode, you're like, what the fuck am I watching?
But I
can't stop watching it.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so I noticed, especially with me posting all the clips and stuff to TikTok and Instagram, we have an anime and music podcast, but we haven't talked about music in quite some time.
I was thinking about that the other day.
I was gonna text you like, hey, you should come up with something and talk about music, but there's some stuff that's happened this week, so we can talk about it.
I don't have to do any work.
No, but you probably should start bringing something involving music. Did you ever listen to that Touche Amore album?
I started. I have not finished it. That's why I haven't brought it up.
Okay,
I never
cool.
Finished it.
Very good. I think you'll really like it.
So far, I will say so far very positive. Won't
Yeah.
go into details till I finish the whole album.
Cool.
But so far positive.
So the big news for anybody that, if you're watching this, clearly you either love anime or like the same music.
I think if
that
you're
we
watching
really
at this
do.
point, you just like anime more than anything.
Probably. But the other, half of this podcast is emo. So emo music. We grew up in the, going to high school in the early 2000s.
Fucking millennials, bro.
The peak of Warp Tour. Now, Warp Tour has come back. It has returned, sort of. So if you remember Warp Tour, it was like you pay like $20 to $40.
Not at the end, you weren't. Huh? Not towards the end, you weren't.
Yeah, 2017, I paid like $45.
Was it? I remember. I think
Yeah,
it was like after fees and all that shit. It was like close to $60 and watching.
Okay, even still, $60 ain't that bad. We got to see like fucking 30 bands in a day.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying the price was bad, but I'm like,
But like in the heyday, in the
Inflation.
06, 07,
oh
we
yeah, it
were
was
paying
cheap as
like
shit. It was
$25.
insane how
if
cheap
that.
it was back in the day.
And we got to see all the bands we liked. You were outside all the fucking day.
But we were kids, so we didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck.
I cared
I
now.
barely drank water. Like,
Yeah.
who gives a shit?
Just ate
As long
that
as I
shit.
didn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't eat either. Like, thinking back, we were fucking stupid.
I couldn't afford it. Like when I was going,
True.
It was like
I couldn't afford to buy water either. I was hoping they would throw the water at me.
Yeah, I used to have to drive up to Palm Beach from fucking where I was.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's gas, baby.
Yeah.
We're just,
I had to drive into San Francisco or drive up to Sacramento.
yeah, like we'll eat before we leave and then we'll eat when we get back.
Yep.
Don't get hungry between then.
Yep, facts. So if you don't know, Warped Tour, quotes, for the people not watching, it's 3 dates. Now, if you don't remember, Warped Tour was a tour. It was, like 30 fucking cities, 20 to 30 cities.
Every major city that, or even smaller cities that had a solid music scene all got hit.
Now we get 3 dates: Washington, D.C., Long Beach, and Orlando. And they're all 2 days. So they're essentially When We Were Young Fest or So What Fest. But now it's under the name Warp Tour.
Well, your news sucks. That just made me sad. I thought you were going to talk about it coming here.
No, it's not coming here. No. Also true. And the thing that pisses me off, one of the other things that pisses me off, it's $150 for a 2-day pass.
Oh my God.
Starting at that price. It's also I'm pretty sure it's also Live Nation, so you're going to get fees.
That's what I'm saying. You always have to count the fees.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be like $200 easily.
Oh yeah.
For a 2-day pass. And they're spread out. Like DC is June 14th and 15th. Long Beach is July 26th and 27th. And Orlando is November 15th and 16th.
God damn.
Yeah. So I don't know if that means they're going to announce other dates later. Because there's a huge gap between the second and third date.
Any good bands?
Huh?
How they started?
They haven't named anybody yet. So they're doing what they do with the other shit. But here's what pisses me off the most. So What Fest is gone. They got rid of So What Fest and Furnace Fest just for this. Because when Warped Tour went away, So What's been apparently going on for a really long time.
Well, So What it used to be I think it was like Edge Fest. That's what it used to be back in the day. And they used to do that here. And usually Warped Tour would just tour through and do Edge Fest as part of Warped Tour. Or like a lot of the bands would show up.
So What is gone. Furnace Fest is gone. And now it's just Warped Tour. And obviously When We Were Young Fest. That also happened this past weekend. I've seen lots of videos and stuff. Looked really cool.
Yeah, I've seen clips of it, but that wasn't paying for that.
No. The coolest thing I've seen was My Kim playing, and it was basically the entire fucking fairground. Everybody was singing Helena. I'm pissed that So What's gone. I was gonna try and get us fucking media passes for next year, but obviously that's not gonna happen.
You never. Oh, obviously. I'll say I talked to Tim, and I was like, I remember talking with Tim about going to Edge Fest back in the day.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure we went. The first year I went, he went as well.
probably.
And I remember him talking, and I was like, oh, and then you brought up So What? And he's like, yeah, it's basically the same thing. That's what it became. Because I don't know if the Edge is still a station here.
I don't know.
Does the
either.
radio still exist?
Yeah,
Like
but none of us use it.
Other than news and weather forecasting?
Only old people use the radio, or people that don't have like any means of listening to other shit in their car.
I drove out towards Shreveport yesterday, and I saw a sign for like Rock Nation. It was like a radio station.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, oh, cool. And like I turned to my radio and I was like trying to tune it, but it wasn't picking up the channel. And I was like, I'm just going to listen to a song. Because I saw a sign for a radio and it said it played modern rock. And I was like, let's see what they're playing. But my car wouldn't tune to it. So either it was like a sign for where the town I was either leaving or I hadn't reached yet.
Yeah.
And then I immediately went back to my Bluetooth and was like, no, what am I doing?
There's no point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what's happening. But I figured in honor of the Warp Tour sort of return, I would give you another one of those blind rankings, but we're doing bands.
Oh, God, I got to get my phone.
Yeah.
That's not my phone. Okay.
Blind ranking these
Did
bands.
you take my glasses off so I'm really blind?
You're fucking stupid.
Pretty blind without them.
Yeah. I know, but your eyes also get kind of wonky when you take that off. So I'd really appreciate you keep those on.
Apparently my notes updated. Fuck you, by the way. I heard that. Gotta go through this. Okay, here we go.
All right, cool. You ready?
Yes.
All right. So it's 5 bands.
One.
You're gonna rank
2,
these.
3, 4, 5.
Cool. All right. First one, Under Oath. Yeah, I'm starting big. Where are you gonna rank it? 1 through 3 or 1 through 5? Sorry, I know you're gonna rank it lower than 3. I mean, you might.
No, I'm gonna put it at 3.
3.
I have a reason for that.
Okay. Census Fail.
4.
4. Okay. Silverstein.
1.
1. Yeah, that's what I expected. So you have 1, 3, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 and 5 left.
Mm-hmm.
A Day to Remember.
5.
That's gonna pay off for you. Emery.
Oh, this list actually worked out perfect.
You honestly kind of crushed that for you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
That's kind of crushed. I'm pretty impressed.
I'm pretty sure based on our initial ranking we did when we started the show, I'm pretty sure that would fall in line with everything.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty impressed with that.
Thank you.
I thought you were gonna fuck it. I thought you were gonna fumble it at the end. That's what I was waiting for.
With a Day to Remember, I love old
Between
school
A Day to Remember and Emery, like you didn't know what the last band was gonna be.
Yeah, but
it could
A
have
Day
been
to Remember,
shit.
just based on what you were giving me, I was like, A Day to Remember is 5. So that was pretty obvious.
All right,
5 again.
Here's the next one.
5 again.
Yep.
I gotta reset my numbers. My numbers are reset.
Cool. We're gonna start with The Used.
So we're doing emo.
Maybe. These are all bands that we would have seen at Warped Tour.
Yeah, I'm gathering that, and that's why I'm thinking. Like, so I'm trying to like think of how I would judge them as a Warped Tour band. But like, I really I like the Used, but I love seeing them live.
Okay. Yeah, I've definitely heard that their live shows are better than they actually are.
I'm gonna go 2. I'm gonna go 2.
You're gonna go 2. Okay. Next, Fall Out Boy.
5.
Yeah, I figured.
No wrong. Don't sleep on them. I like Fall Out Boy, but
I mean, this is a top 5 list, so all of them are gonna be good.
Yeah.
Paramore.
Fuck. 4.
4. Okay, so these are gonna be 2 and 3.
1 and 3. The Used was 2.
The Users 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Norma Jean.
1.
Okay. Honestly, I think you're gonna be pretty happy with this list because the last one, Drugs.
Actually, my list worked out perfect again.
Yeah, you kind of fucking crushed this. I think you were really upset when we did the anime
The last
ones.
one, yeah, I was fucked that list up so bad. But I was also like in my head about it too. I'm like, I didn't really get the concept the first one I did.
Yeah.
So like now that I get it, like,
Yeah, you kind of crushed these. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, because I actually saw Paramore at Edgefest, and I was like, wow, they're actually really fucking good. Like Haley's got a voice, man, fucking crushes
She
it.
got vibes.
I preferred seeing. I'd say Fall Out Boy overall, I think has better music as a whole. But Paramore live, I definitely enjoyed more than seeing Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy definitely has that pop punk, like, you can tell they're clearly like show was aimed at like teenage girls.
Right.
And so like when they were actually doing their set, they, they do all their singles and all that, but like it was a lot of like booping and bopping and like cheering for the crowd. And I was like, I'm not really a fan of this live. Like it didn't really do it for me. They had good energy, but it was the kind of energy that like it reminded me like when I did volunteer work at the Miley Cyrus concert, like that, and the Jonas Brothers, like that. They almost seemed like they were trying to be more of a boy band on stage than just a band.
Right. Well, that was, I figured we needed to talk about a little bit of music. There's been crazy releases. I'm excited to do the top 5 albums of the year at the end of this year again.
I'm kind of nervous. I haven't really listened to them. Like I've actually like since we started doing this podcast, been like doing a better job of keeping up at least music in the realm of what I like and what I know. And like, I haven't really like found much this year that I like. I've even like been like looking for like new bands and listen to like a song or two. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like I know like I'm at that point where like new music just isn't for me. And like, I feel like when we were kids and like our parents were like, Metallica's great, your new metal sucks. I feel like I'm hitting that age and like, I'm trying to fight it so hard.
Well, I can promise you there's stuff that you would really like.
I mean, I am. I'm not really like, I'm finding music I like, but I'm not finding music I love.
Let me help you. I'll send you a list of names, but you're going to have to do a little bit of legwork and fucking.
I mean, which is fine. Cause like now that I'm back into music again, like, I mean, now that I forgot it, but like now that I'm like more like, because I definitely got to a point where like I check out 1 or 2 albums and then I realize like, unless you're a band that made music when I was basically when I hit 30, if you were not a band that existed at that point in my life, I stopped giving a fuck about you.
So the only thing I'm going to ask you to do me a favor though is when I send you these bands, just listen to this year's albums. Don't. Like, I know you love to like go through everybody's discography.
Yeah, I like to see the growth.
I understand that, and that's perfectly fine. But what I would request is listen. If these bands I'm going to send you are stuff that they've had albums that I think you would like from this year.
Not necessarily all of their discography.
Correct. Okay. Just listen to this, so at least it'll help you figure out your list. And then if you find like at the end of that, you're like, I really loved this band. I want to listen to all of their shit. Go back and do that.
I do. Like I'll say like Currents last year, I'd listened to them, I'd heard of them before. I'd listened to 1 or 2 songs and like it was one of those bands like, I don't think you're bad. They just didn't really do it. And then I loved that album last year. And then I went back and like it was the same thing, like it still just didn't hit.
Yeah,
so,
no,
like,
well, they definitely got really good out of I mean, they were good before, don't get me wrong, but like
I would say they were okay before.
That last album they dropped was
an outlier.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, that was absolutely an outlier.
So good, bro.
So like I see what you're saying, because if I would have gone back and listened to their older stuff fully, I don't know if I would have made it to that album.
Correct. That's why I want you to just listen to this year's stuff.
Well, that's what I've been trying to do is like, because like your Spotify notifies you. So like I'll check out that album. And then like, if it seems okay, and then I'll go usually check their 2 or 3 songs. I'll look at their top 5 and I'll pick 1 or 2 songs from the first album, 1 or 2. And I'm like, if those don't hit for me, then I'm like, I'm just going to move on.
Right. So I don't want you to do that. I want you to listen to, because I'm sending you these specific albums.
Okay.
I want you to listen to these ones because with a couple of these bands, this new album is better than it'd be like a Currents thing where like this new album is it just fucking hits.
I know Silverstein, I think it's like next year is like their 25-year anniversary. They said they're going to do like a dual, I don't know if they're doing like one album, like a A-side, B-side album, like a dual album thing, or if it's just going to be one really long album, or if they're going to do a split release, but they're supposed to be releasing 2 albums next year.
Tight.
So I'm like super excited. And then that's when it really hit me. I was like, oh man, like I got to get back in my grind with new music. And I'm just like, I haven't even found anything that's bad enough to mention or good enough to mention. Like, I just hate talking about shit that's bland.
I know. And I'm going to, there's a couple like I'm thinking of right now that I think you would genuinely love.
I mean, I want you to send me things that I'll love, but also feel free to send me shit I hate. I haven't really had much media to hate on lately.
Well, I'm only going to send you stuff that's on my top list so far. Because that's what happened with Currents.
Then you're definitely going to send me something you hate then.
What?
I mean, if you're sending me your top 5, if you send
I'm sending you stuff from my because I've kept a running list this whole year. I have like
I've been
40 albums left.
I've been, but like, if you send me your top 5 albums, you always have that one album that I'm like,
no,
absolutely not.
I think 3 of my top 5 albums you're not gonna like.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's
So
why I'm not gonna
I
send
need
you
you
my
to give
top
me
5.
one of those so I can listen to it and then hate
You have
listen.
Bill Murray. Bill Murray is in
Stuff,
in my
stuff
top
like
5.
that where I can.
No.
It's like that was so miserable for me that I had to come. Like I will actually mention this.
They dropped an extended edition with 4 new songs.
No,
It's so good.
I won't go back.
It gave me an excuse to listen to it again. I fucking love that album so much.
I tried so
And
hard
it's
too.
so fun to watch live. Like that's one of those where like I can understand why you didn't love the album, but I think the live show you'd be like, I get this.
Oh, there's plenty of bands that I don't think are great, or even bands that I don't like. Like I like bluegrass concerts. I'll never fucking go listen to bluegrass, but my boy Waddell up in Washington, we went and saw Trampled by Turtles, and I was fucking slapping my fucking thighs, having a great time. And then he put it on in the car on the ride home, and I was like, bro, turn that shit off. Yeah. This, bro, you were just having such a good time. I'm like, it's live. It's different.
It's definitely
different.
Yeah.
I would go see Backstreet Boys live, but I'll never buy an album.
I would definitely go see Backstreet. I want to see Sabrina Carpenter live, but I
don't even know who that is.
You know who Barry Keoghan is, right? Barry Keoghan, the actor. He was in Killing a Sacred Deer and Saltburn. And
the main character in Saltburn, which was, by the way, can we talk about Saltburn? I finally finished that movie. It is weird. Such a fucking disappointment. It was weird.
It was it was definitely not as fucked up as I thought it was going to be. Everybody made it
up.
People have not seen a lot of fucked up stuff. So
like 1, it wasn't really that fucked up. 2, it was boring as shit. Like we tried watching it together and she fell asleep the first time. The second time I just can't do this. I'm just so fucking bored. And then when it finally becomes a movie worth watching, you're just so disappointed from like the slow burn that you're like, because we didn't finish it together. I just watched. I don't know even know when I watched it. But I was like, let me just finish this movie to see. And I was just like, the whole tub thing. And I'm just like.
Tub part was the weirdest part.
Yeah, it was.
Actually, no, when he fucks the ground, fucks the grave.
Oh, yeah. It felt like that's like a teenager wrote this movie. Like, this is edgy. This is love, man. This is the raw shit. And I'm like, that's some shit you would write like your sophomore year in high school in your diary and say you're going to turn into a movie one day.
But my point was Barry Keoghan, it's his girlfriend.
Okay.
But she was also in Disney stuff when she was younger. It's just bubblegum pop. It's just pop.
Oh.
It's a very good album.
You said Disney at the genre clicked.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of people that were Disney that aren't very Disney anymore. Miley Cyrus was Disney, and that bitch ain't Disney no more.
Well, her music stayed pop. She tried to do like the whole like thug aesthetic for like one album.
She also done country too because of her dad.
Well, yeah, but like I
think fucking what's her name is her like godmother.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Wow. I mean, she still makes pop music.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the I thoroughly enjoyed. I was very entertained listening to her album. It was very good.
Yeah, I mean, I like Olivia Rodriguez, and I don't know. I wouldn't count her as pop.
Rodrigo.
Sorry, I love that album. She came out a couple years ago.
That's pop. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's like more of a
It's pop.
I mean, it is pop, but it's not like Disney pop. Like, there's a difference.
Yeah, I don't think Sabrina Carpenter is Disney pop. It's
you
pop.
just said it's Disney pop.
No, I just said she was in Disney when she was younger.
I thought you were saying like Disney because like that's a very distinct type of pop.
No. She was in Disney growing up. Like she was in shows.
Yeah, that Disney to pop star puts you in a very niche group normally of music.
No, her stuff is like it sounds very poppy, but the lyrics are super fucked. It's very
I'd say
funny.
Olivia Rodriguez is. I mean, she kind of teeters between like pop and like I call it like the raspy. I know she's not white, but like the raspy white girl plight music, like the Amy Winehouses.
Yeah, she's
what Billie Eilish is.
She's Billie Eilish.
What Billie Eilish wishes she could be.
Because Billie Eilish's album this year is pretty goddamn good.
I cannot stand her music. I can't
Have you listened to
her
this new? Oh
No.
yeah, I don't really care about her lyrics musically though. It is.
Oh yeah, well I mean yeah, she doesn't do her own music though. Like everything she doesn't do is good. The one thing I mean I don't know if she writes her own lyrics. God, for her sake, I hope she doesn't because they're fucking terrible.
I think she does because they're not good.
Yeah, actually that would make sense. She does pop music with shitty lyrics.
Yeah.
She's
also not a great human, but
I mean, I don't care about that, but
I do.
She, you can see her trying to be Amy Winehouse, but like without any of the charisma or talent. I get it; she's popular, so I'm not knocking her.
She has charisma. She does.
I don't think so.
Absolutely does.
I don't think so.
I do.
Like, so when I was watching, because we're watching True Detective, the new season.
Yeah.
She does like the intro, and like
yeah, she does.
And I remember like I fucking hate this song because I've heard that song before.
Yeah.
And I was like talking to Cecilia, and she's like, "Why?" I was like, "Just listen to the lyrics."
Like, her lyrics are
I
horrible.
was like, "Don't listen to the song. Listen, like her lyrics are so bad that I can't just focus on the music because she's saying so much word vomit." Shit. Yeah,
yeah, no, that's the difference with Sabrina Carpenter is her lyrics are genuinely hilarious.
Yeah,
it's like petty bitch shit. Like,
not like that.
It's. I think you'll enjoy it because
I kind of like that's what I like about Taylor Swift is like she writes very dramatic and almost like woe is me, but she has some pretty good petty lines too.
Then if you like the petty shit, please listen to Sabrina Carpenter's album.
Do you like the petty shit?
Yeah, no, her fucking lyric. The first song is just like, bitch, you said what now?
I'll check it out.
It's pretty dope. Anyway, we've been going for a while.
No, you spent like an hour talking about what you've been watching.
Yeah, you always blame it on me. Like,
I mean, we
go on tangents.
It was an hour and like 5 minutes when we finally got to what I was watching.
To be fair, we also went off shit that you've watched, and you wanted me to like give you everything about how I felt about Dragon Ball
because it's such an important milestone in your life that you finally finished Dragon Ball as an anime fan. That is a milestone.
Okay,
like there are anime fans. There's Cowboy Bebop. It's a milestone.
I thought you were going to name more than two.
I mean, I'm trying not to drag it out any longer. Like, I can. You just bitched at me for ranting, so I had to like catch myself.
You're good.
Because I was about to make a list.
I figured. I had some people comment on our when we were, because I posted a clip of when we were talking about like beginner anime, and somebody commented and said Yu Yu Hakusho, and I was like, you know what? That's a great fucking answer.
I mean, it is.
It's a good starter.
Yeah.
I stand by what we both said, but Yu Yu Hakusho is definitely solid.
It's got enough weird shit in it to like be like, okay, anime is a little different, but not so weird that you're turned off from it.
No, and it's
I think it teeters on the edge of not being intro level.
Yeah.
But it takes a while to get there. Because that first because really that first mini arc isn't so bad. So when you get to the Dark Tournament, that's when you're like, all right, this shit is weird. But by that point, you're in, so it doesn't matter.
Already in. You love the characters.
I'd say Kurama. When you meet Kurama, that's when you're like, all right, the fuck is going on here?
I don't know. I feel like Hiei is a little weirder than Kurama. Kurama's just got a sick ass whip.
Yeah, but
he's very pretty.
But he's he's a lot more anime tropey with the guy.
No, you're right.
The pretty boy that's like androgynous.
His name is Kurama.
Yeah, Not based on like a folklore. Like he is like quintessential like shonen. Like how many shows have a nine-tailed fox in it?
All of them.
Yeah. I can think of at least one other one.
I can think of like 4 just off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm sure he is based on some, because everyone says like there gets Naruto shit for being based on stuff or like this, but like they're all based on old shit.
All based on shit like that. Goku is literally based on Son Goku.
Yeah, he's based on Chinese lore. They're either based on Shinto, Buddhist, or Hindu stories. Every fucking anime
all of them, and that's fine. We love it.
Yeah.
We love that shit. Anyway, guys.
You're ranting again.
I am. It was good to see you. I guess good for you to see us
with those sunglasses on.
Yeah, I'm pretty fly. I know.
For
what guy?
Thank you. I was like, is he gonna do it?
No, I was not planning on doing it.
Okay, I thought that's why you wore them, just so you could say that.
No, not at all. I just randomly put them on, and I was like, I'm just gonna rock this the whole time.
Where did you get those?
They're Jordans.
Where did she get those?
Port.
Aransas,
yeah.
Hey, it's a cool town.
Yeah, I want to go.
You should go. It's literally like a drive-through kind of town.
Yeah,
but it ends on like
the way she described it. It felt like Destin, but less tourist. Destin, Florida. It's just east of Pensacola.
Never been.
You're not missing anything.
I've only been to Pensacola like once, twice.
Yeah, but the first time you were in Pensacola, you were there for quite a while.
No, I didn't go there for school.
Oh.
Pensacola was wiped off the map by
That's right.
God wiped off Pensacola.
God said, fuck Pensacola.
Yeah. And then we defied God and rebuilt it. But yeah, I didn't get to go.
Anyway, sorry. We got
Another
Shark
rant.
again.
Surprise.
Thanks for listening, guys, and thanks for watching. And we will see you next week.
All right. Love you. Miss you. Bye.
Price for destruction!